I was sitting here and it really got me to thinking all of the information that's come out uh, in the past couple of weeks concerning the Cat Williams interview on Shannon Shea. It's gotten over 50 million views. It was over 3 hours long, and it was a very telling, captivating, intriguing, educational, funny, uh, thoughtful interview that the man was able to masterfully uh, hold during that time period. And one of the things that stood out to me in reference to the interview, and I'm gonna name this video the tyranny of men. I'm looking at the response that Dave Chappelle had in someone doing an analysis on what they were talking about. And he brought up a very interesting point. The difference between Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams, which is also a very great comedian, is that Dave Chappelle has a system behind him. He has promoters, he has sponsors, uh, uh, he has a whole system behind him. So therefore, he cannot really speak the truth that he wants, even though we know his history with the system. But sometimes people will negotiate, people will kowtow and step and fetch to not lose what they have lost. Again, that's just the truth. Um, and what the man brought up was the difference between Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams is that he sold out over 17 shows. He has done touring for years. When he puts on a show, it is Cat Williams putting on the show. It's not some other team or some other. Can you imagine the logistics and the business know how it takes to plan a concert? I've planned conventions before where people had to come to and gather and participate in events. I've planned conventions as young as 16 years old. This is just the truth. Um, so I understand the logistics, the coordination of resources, the money aspect, the equipment aspect, the venue, everything that goes into that, the time, the scheduling. I was doing that at 16 years old, 17, 18 years old. Between that time, I was doing that before I was 18 years old. And so I get and I understand the complexity of this. And so therefore you have a Cat Williams that plans all his own stuff. And the reason why I bring this up for everybody out there, especially you folks that claim yourself to be in the truth or understand the truth, um, or live uh, off grid lives, whatever it is that you want to call it, self sufficient. Uh, you are not self sufficient as a man, spiritually, mentally, if you fear what another man has to say about what you're going to say regarding anything that comes to your mind, provided that is the truth. I mean, I wouldn't believe that someone would slander someone or do these things. But we see that happen all the time too, especially men that claim that they're in the truth or in the faith. But neither here nor there. When you are worried, concerned, uh, what someone may say, think, or do to you, or take away from you, that's a pretty bad state to be in. And that's the situation that Cat Williams is in. See, he can speak the truth without any kind of socioeconomic repercussion. Sure, they can take his life. See, anybody can do that. Any person that speaks truth to power, your life is on the line. That's just the reality of the situation. Because where have I become your enemy? Because I've told you the truth. Did not the Messiah himself get killed for envy? For saying things that the scribes and Pharisees did not want to hear because it affected their pocket. Who are your modern day scribes and Pharisees? Who are your modern day fat cats that's getting rich off the church while the people suffer in these hard times? Where the poor give over all their money to the rich, live in poverty, and these folks, they living pretty good. It's sad, isn't it? But we have a situation where this man can speak the truth because nobody puts money in his pocket. See, when you truly can live your life in such a fashion where you can get up, whether individually, client, um, brother, sister, pastor, elder, you're gonna get the unadulterated truth. You're gonna get my assessment of situation. If I think something's not right, you're gonna get that. And as a direct result of that, you can't hold nothing from me. You can't deprive me of anything. See, this is why what I've learned over the years is that when someone think they can take something from you, when someone thinks that they can prevent you from doing something or achieving something or getting the desire that you want of your heart, whether it's self-sufficiency, whether it's community, whether it's marriage, any of these things, if you got to sell your soul to get it, you're in a pretty bad state. If you got to sell your integrity, I'm not talking about adjusting your wicked ways. I'm not talking about that. There's certain things that you just can't do. If you are attempting to achieve a certain level set of goals and dreams and goals and aspirations, you can't be out raping women and then want a wife. Does that make sense? You can't be out running the street, raping women, and then turn around, I want a wife. That just doesn't make sense. But if you can't speak truth to power, all perceived power, because all it is perceived power. Let me tell you, man, you're in a pretty bad situation. If you're concerned about what somebody else is going to think or respond to you, especially if you see injustice and you turn a silent eye because they got title, we got examples of this in Scripture itself. Where mighty men got humbled, mighty men, and there ain't no man alive that show me one that can match or exceed any prophet, any apostle, any disciple, any king or man of Yah that's found in this book. That's just the truth. That's just a fact. We're striving and on our way to perfection, but the times that we living in, it wouldn't be tolerated back then. The way people get away with things that they do today, the fornication and the adultery that takes place, even when in Israel, they get away with it. The transgressions, they just get away with it. They flat out get away with it. In community and homestead, they get away with it. Why? Would you think on earth that the full force and brunt of Yah's law would not come down on even your elders and your pastors if we had really a righteous system in place? Because as of old, you look at the Christian church, these T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Benny Hinn. I can go on in the Israelite or Jewish faith. They got them all, every single, I'm telling you, they got them everywhere. Openly committing adultery, openly lying, openly slandering, openly abusing power. And nobody says nothing because of fear. Fear of man bringeth the snare. See, I don't fear. And, I go back to the Cat Williams things, is that when you can speak without anybody, without the fear of another man depriving you of anything, you're truly free. You are true, I'm telling you. And in the religious folks, and I got to say this, the true freedom and the highest freedom is in the Messiah himself. Okay, because then they'll paint me as worldly when I'm not in the world. I'm not of the world. I don't live a part of the world. I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world, and my lifestyle is a direct reflection of it. But when you're in that situation, you're castrated as a man. That's just a fact of the matter. And it's sad to see so many men that's castrated and they turn a blind eye because they're not free. And there's no reason why free men cannot dwell together in unity. Why not? Why not? I'm a total advocate of it. Uh, but it's a pretty sad situation, and this is why the interview, the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp, it got over 50 million views and going up. Because with the public, with a segment of the public, they're backing someone that has the power, the economics, and the ability to speak truth to power without no repercussions. See, they can't touch his pocket. They can take his life, but they cannot touch his pocket. They cannot touch his livelihood. They've tried over 10 times or 7 times to send him in jail, and each time the charges were dropped. He said he's been to jail 14 times, but never to prison. It's not the same, and it's not the same. They can charge you and pick you up for anything, sending you to jail for 2-3 days and then letting you out, and you've done nothing wrong. It happens all the time. When you can speak truth to power like this man did, and not have any fear, look at this man. We're of the same. I'm taller than him, but we're the same, practically the same body size. But the man is a true man that speaks truth to power. And because see, that's where the real heart of a man lies. We are in a world where, and I've been told this by women, think that real men are men that has been to jail. I've been told by women that real men are men that have been to jail. You got to understand the mind of someone that's that far and damaged in their thought process. But let this be the year of truth. Let this year be the year that your actions speak louder than your words. For I love this saying. Your actions speak so loud I can't hear what you say. And see what Cat Williams is he's a living personification of somebody that can back up what he says and says, listen here, if you think you're better than me, let's show it in front of the world. Let's show it in front of the world. I respect that. I can respect that. Because his actions and his words and his numbers speak those facts. When anyone, I'm not talking about those who don't challenge him. I'm talking about those who do challenge him. There's a fine difference between the two. See, if nobody's challenging you, then it's fine. And if you asking for the people that's challenging you to come forward and they don't challenge you, then we have an issue. Then we have okay, what's really going on? People may, like many people have done, they'll sidestep it by saying, like Steve Harvey is doing, oh, they're haters and they hate me. See, they won't deal with the facts. They won't deal with the facts. And when the facts are on your side, you can have a higher standing. You can have a bigger title, but the facts just don't support your title. Even though Steve Harvey is more famous and richer than Cat Williams, the truth supports Cat Williams, even though he's the lesser in Steve Harvey because of his riches and because his title and his status is greater. The facts don't support your title. I can go on and on and on. But what I'm attempting to do is use this example to show what a real, true, alpha, Yah-fearing man is. He is a man that does not compromise his integrity for position, title, fame, because he can get it his own. He can get it of his own hands, his own labor, his own abilities, his own mind, that the Most High put in his heart. What does it say? A man's heart plans his ways, but the Lord or Yah determines his steps. I'm trying to really try my best to give examples, living examples of situations as to where you get it. You got to be free, because if you're not free and you entertain with men, or you're concerned what someone else is going to keep from you, you are in a situation where you're living under the tyranny of men.